on, people? It's your old pal CHH, and today we got an Italian stack. That's right, I've got Italian horror on Blu-ray. I hope you guys are ready for some Blu-ray videos and physical media stuff, because I have just been coming up with ideas left and right on stuff to do. So I do apologize to your wallets if any of this stuff interests you. But let's get into Italian, and I'm going to really attack this in a basic way. Certain titles that I'll try to skim by big titles that I know a lot of you probably already own, and keep it brief and let the, I guess, newcomers to Italian horror or newcomers to physical media know, hey, this is a legendary title. And I'll tell you to avoid certain titles, because if they're just really bad, I buy a lot of bad movies. So what do you say we get started? How about a little Deep Blood? Yeah, a film by Joe D'Amato. This is a Jaws ripoff. It's an Italian Jaws ripoff from 1990. And it's bad. I like it, but it's really bad. But Joe D'Amato stuff is always bizarrely entertaining, you know? So I definitely recommend checking this out and then seeing if it's something you wouldn't mind owning. This came out from Severin, by the way. And you'll see a lot of titles from Severin in this stack. So yeah, Deep Blood. Yeah. It says, I'll keep it simple. Deep Blood. I'll keep it right there. How about that? Deep Blood. Let's stick with it. Cruel Jaws. Yeah, aka Jaws 5. The story goes that Severin put this out. They got sued by Universal. I can't prove or disprove this, but I think Vinegar Syndrome helped these guys out a lot, and it cost them Drop Dead Fred. If you guys remember, they were going to put out Drop Dead Fred, and all of a sudden it went to Vinegar Syndrome. That's the rumor. I can't prove it, but if you're wondering why did they get sued? Well, Cruel Jaws infamously uses shots directly from the movie Jaws. This is a classic, though. There's a Hulk Hogan look-alike in here. I love Cruel Jaws. It's crazy, bad awesomeness. And look at that artwork. How do you not love that? Yeah, Cruel Jaws is money. I've always loved it. I watched it on YouTube, and I decided, yeah, I definitely need this. So this is going to be kind of hard to track down, but if you can find it at a decent price, you need it for your Jaws collection. Cruel Jaws. It is, in fact, the 5th Jaws movie, damn it. Next up, we've got Dario Argento Presents The Church, a film by Michele Soavi. How do you pronounce that? Anyway, I like this movie a lot. The Church, this is 1990 as well. 89. I read about this in one of the magazines that I get. It was probably Rue Morgue. But this movie was really, really great. I loved it, and there's some incredible visuals in The Church. Look at that. Well acted. I was actually a really big fan of this, so I definitely recommend getting The Church. This came out from... Who put this out? Scorpion Releasing, and it should still be available. Last time I checked it was. I don't think this is getting any kind of new release soon, but I highly recommend The Church. I loved that. That's a great movie. All right, this is another classic, Nightmare Beach. This has John Saxon in it. This is the most American Italian-style horror film you'll ever see. Granted, all these films use American dubs, but they went out of their way to make this feel as American as possible. You feel like you're in the California beaches. There's a killer dressed like that in the film. Really entertaining, really fun. Nightmare Beach is the perfect entry movie for Italian horror for people. Highly recommend. Highly recommend Nightmare Beach. And that was put out by Kino Lorber. Kino Lorber's a great company. Next up, we got Zombie Lake. I'm pretty sure this was Italian. I watched this once. It's god-awful. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I had a buddy send this to me because I kind of talked about it, and he watched it, reviewed it, and then he sent it to me. It has an incredible old-school VHS artwork, though, but they didn't even use that for this Blu-ray. This movie's disgusting. It's just terrible. Yeah, Zombie Lake. Don't buy that. But buy it if you just want to own it. Next up, we've got Cannibal Apocalypse, John Saxon. This one's okay. This was a film by Antonio Margheriti, who's done some good stuff. This one, I've watched it twice, and I enjoyed it the second time more than the first time. There's some good stuff in here. I remember it looked really good. 1981, and this was a 4K remaster. Cannibal Apocalypse is a John Saxon film, and he did a lot of Italian. You'll notice he's in a lot of Italian horror films. So I would give this one like a C+ in terms of quality of the film. Definitely check out the trailer and things like that and see if it interests you. But I thought Cannibal Apocalypse was pretty good. I'm happy to own that. Again, Kino Lorber did that. Next up, these are must-owns. I'm pretty sure these were Italian. Absurd and Anthropophagus. This is the sequel to this. Joe D'Amato, yeah. These movies are incredible. They're disgusting. I love them. Put these at the top of your list. This is Severin, by the way. And this one, it says limited to 3,000. I'm pretty sure it's still available. But these movies are gross, they're disgusting, and I freaking love them. I think you'll really dig these movies. Anthropophagus and Absurd. I think I like Absurd a little bit more than Anthropophagus. But I mean, look at the cover art. That should tell you how disgusting these movies are. Definitely check these out. Definitely check these out. Next up, we've got a little... it's a pretty good film from the great Lucio Fulci, Murder Rock. This was put out by, let's see, Scorpion as well. So we have a number of Scorpion films. Murder Rock's not a bad Lucio Fulci film. I watched this one time, and it's like a musical thriller kind of movie. Some good music in here. I would definitely recommend checking this out. Don't put this at the top of your list to get, though. But not bad. Next up, we've got from the great director of Troll 2, Claudio Fragassi, comes Monster Dog, starring Alice Cooper. Yeah. So this came out when Alice Cooper was having really bad drug problems, and he was in recovery, and his deal with Warner Brothers, his record deal, he stopped selling records because he was making really bizarre records. I recommend you checking them out. Check out Dada, Zipper Catches Skin, and Special Forces. Those are the 3 Blackout records. But this movie's incredibly entertaining. And yeah, Alice is legit the star of the movie. I love Monster Dog. When he did this, he basically asked for this movie not to be really released in America, because he didn't want people to see, like, this is what he's become. But I think it's hysterical. I love this. And there's songs, I believe there were songs in the movie for this that Alice did. I'm pretty sure it's either that or another movie, but I'm pretty sure it was Monster Dog. It's slipping my brain right now, but there's 2 songs that the only way you can listen to them is if you get the 1999 Life and Crimes of Alice Cooper. I want to say it was this movie or was another one. I'm having such a brain fart right now, but regardless, Monster Dog is my favorite Claudio Fragasso film. It's not Troll 2, it's 100% Monster Dog. Devilishly entertaining. Okay, so the Blu-ray people are really going to like this, and the 4K people, I think, will still respect this. So Suspiria has an incredible 4K. This was the nicest Blu-ray you could get for Suspiria. This is the 2-disc 4K scan Blu-ray for Suspiria, and this Blu-ray looks sensational. Looks really good. And I've never wanted to upgrade it. I was always extremely pleased with this. Even watching it on my 4K TV now, it looks incredible. And of course, I would probably assume that the 4K looks even better. But I'm so happy with this, and it's so perfect that I've never had any desire to upgrade this one. And I still recommend this to people, the 2-disc Blu-ray version of Suspiria. This is, well, a lot of people consider this the greatest Italian horror movie ever made. I prefer Zombie as my favorite ever made, but to deny Suspiria would be to lie. Suspiria is an all-time classic, legendary film. It's one of the best of the decade. It's one of the best ever. This is a masterpiece, in my opinion, Dario Argento's Suspiria. So definitely get your hands on that. I really recommend that release, by the way. Let's talk about Two Evil Eyes. I have the 4K and I have the Blu-ray of this. Now, if you're wondering why, it's because I really love this film and I just wanted to upgrade it. I watch it frequently. So this is the 3-disc limited edition that you can probably still find. Hopefully, I mean, it may not be too expensive. I don't know if they're still available. And this is the new 4K. Unfortunately, I didn't get this with the slip, but it is what it is. I do have this version. Two Evil Eyes is kind of like an anthology. It started out being a lot bigger than what it turned out to be. So I believe Fulci was supposed to work on this as well, but I think he got pretty sick. If you're a 4K person, if you've never seen this, George Romero and Dario Argento do 2 stories in this, and they're both about 45 minutes each. I think Dario gets the upper hand in which one's better, but George's story is great. You're also going to get Tom Atkins in here, but Dario's is great. Dario, I think, one of his best pieces he's done is in Two Evil Eyes. I really, really, really like it. Harvey Keitel and Adrienne Barbeau. Both of these releases are great, but the 4K is sensational. One of my favorites is Two Evil Eyes. I love it so much. So really, I recommend whatever you are. If you're a 4K person, you will never be upset with the Blue Underground 4K. I know I haven't been. And this is still a 4K scan Blu-ray. If you've never seen Two Evil Eyes, I put my word and my money on it. It's one of my all-time favorites. I really, really, really love it. So there you go. Next up, we've got, put this top of your list, Burial Ground. Now, this is one of my favorites. I love this movie so much. Who directed this? I can't remember. But Burial Ground, this image is just burned in my brain. Ever since I saw the image for this, it always got stuck in my brain. Andrea Bianchi directed this. I love this. Love this movie. But yeah, I didn't even know you could still get a slip with this. I just ordered this on Amazon maybe a year ago, maybe a little less than a year ago from, it's come from Severin, and it sure enough came with a slip. But I gotta say, like, the slip looks good, and this movie's creepy. Like, Burial Ground is creepy as hell. But this image of, like, the chrome skull, I always loved it. So, this is one of my favorites. I highly recommend it. This comes from Severin as well. But yeah, Burial Ground, if you haven't seen it, I think this will be one that should be, like, really creeped out and grossed out by. Italian zombie films are just nasty and gross. Burial Ground is, put that at the top of your list, too. I really, really love that one. Coming up next, this is kind of like a slasher film. It was also referred to as Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 overseas, and I think it was even referred to that after Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 kind of came out. Claudio Fragaso's Night Killer. This movie is hysterically, awesomely bad, but wildly entertaining. So the killer literally wears this mask in the movie, and it's like a slasher film. I really actually love this movie. I'm not even going to hold any bones about it. It's devilishly entertaining. And something about Fragasso, I don't know what it is about his movies, but they have this undying charm to them. You'll see it in Monster Dog, you see it in Troll 2, and you'll see it in Night Killer. I would say Night Killer may be my second or third favorite Claudio film, if I'm being dead ass about it. Like, I actually recommend Night Killer a lot. It's really fun. It's really fun, and the look of the Night Killer himself is just something to behold. I just love it. So Night Killer, that comes from Severin as well. We'll come through with these. Zombie 3 and 4. Zombie 3 is halfway directed by Lucio Fulci, and it's halfway directed by Claudio Fragasso. Zombie 4 is all Claudio Fragasso. I like these movies, and believe it or not, Zombie 4 I actually give a little bit more of an edge because it's just truly disgusting. And there's a really great song, an 80s style, like, synth AOR rock song that goes with it. Living After Death. Living After Death. It's great. But this one's high energy, Zombie 3. There's, like, a lot of good chase stuff going on in there. These are both from Severin, and they're both great Blu-ray releases. Don't see these getting 4Ks anytime soon, or probably ever. Watch me be completely wrong on that. But these are must-haves if you're a fan of Zombie. They don't scale the heights of Zombie, but they're definitely fun entries for sure. I almost forgot to mention City of the Living Dead, which is a great Lucio Fulci film. It's very nightmarish, and there's some incredible stuff, and stuff that gives me the willies in terms of, like, caskets. It was also called Gates of Hell, and this is a limited edition release I had. That is a 4K scan, I believe. Yeah, 4K color grading and restoration of the film from a 4K scan with the original camera negative. That is pretty limited now. This was put out by Scorpion, but the film does have a 4K now from Cauldron, which I haven't gotten yet, but odds are I'll probably end up grabbing it because it's that good of a movie. I highly recommend you don't buy this. This is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Paganini Horror. Christian, why did you buy it? Well, the reason I bought it was when I researched Paganini Horror, the music was incredible to me because it was rip-off Bon Jovi music. They legitimately ripped off Bon Jovi songs for the soundtrack. It does come with the CD, which is something I'm happy about. Really the only thing I use now. But this movie is disgustingly boring. It does have Donald Pleasance in it, unfortunately. It doesn't have much to do. The killer is pathetic looking. Nothing happens, but it's sad because it's got incredible artwork. I know, right? Incredible artwork. Look at that. But this movie sucks. It's terrible. Don't buy it. Coming up next, here is the 4K, but it comes with a Blu-ray, I think, of Phenomena. This is the Arrow version, but you've got a lot of options. You can get the Blu-ray. You can get the Blu-ray from Synapse for Phenomena, or the 4K in America. I got to get a review copy of this, and it was incredible. But you have options. So if you like Phenomena, you can go to Arrow, You can go to Synapse, and you can get a Blu-ray for Phenomena from Synapse as well, which I have. I love Phenomena. Coming up next, we've got Severin's Four Flies on Grey Velvet, which was supposed to be like a one frickin' night only thing, and God knows it has not been that. This movie was pretty good, but not deserving of even a release this nice, in my opinion. I definitely recommend just checking this out on streaming if you can, or waiting to see if there's going to be a basic release, which I'm sure there will be. The less said, the best said about that, Severin. You guys kind of screwed the pooch on that one. Coming up next from Synapse, of course, there is the regular Blu-ray you can get off of Amazon. But if you're a 4K person, I really recommend, really recommend. This comes with a Blu-ray as well. This Tenebrae. Tenebrae is probably the second best, and in some people's opinion, the best Dario Argento film. This is the chunky box edition of Tenebrae. This movie just kicks so much ass, and it's gorgeous. The kill scenes it's sensational. Like when you see the blood splatter across the white walls and some stuff, it's almost like a work of art. John Saxon's in here. The music in this is good. The story in this is good. People love this movie, and for good reason. Tenebrae is all that and a bag of chips. Probably one of the best Italian horror films ever, if I'm being honest. Coming up next, I'm going to show this because this is I am marketing this video as a Blu-ray version, but they do have the 4Ks available, which I have. This is Demons 1 and 2. And the Blu-rays of this is the remastered version. So you can get separate versions of Demons 1 and 2 on Blu-ray. But I really recommend, if you're not a 4K person, but you do still care about picture quality, the special limited edition 2-pack for Demons 1 and 2 is great. I bought this when it came out, and I was super happy with it. Now, the 4K versions do even push the boundaries a little bit more, but these are perfect gateway entry Italian horror films. The soundtracks are incredible. You're going to have Motley Crue, you're going to have Go West, you're going to have The Cult. Sensational soundtracks. The first movie's classic, takes place in a theater. The second movie's in an apartment complex. I love Demons 2, but it really gets hammy. It's more like an Empire picture, whereas the first one's more like an Evil Dead movie. So I think you get the best of both worlds there. But these are classic films. Definitely recommend Demons 1 and 2. Fantastic Italian horror films. Next up, we got Lucio Fulci's Manhattan Baby. This is an okay movie. Some stuff by Lucio just takes me a while to really get into. Like, I didn't pull it out, but like Arrow put out The Black Cat by Lucio, and I think that's actually a really good movie. I've really grown to like it. Manhattan Baby, I'm not necessarily there yet, but if you've seen this film and you don't own it and you are a fan, Blue Underground did a really good 3-disc collector's edition. I'm pretty sure this is still available. There might even be an even cheaper version of this, but it does look really good, I'll say that. All of Blue Underground stuff looks sensational. Speaking of Blue Underground, these all have 4Ks as well, but I am marketing this as a Blu-ray video. House by the Cemetery, the 3-disc limited edition, 4K scans and everything. This release I'm still just happy with. I've never bought it on 4K because I look at some of these, I'm like, these are just perfect. I don't need to upgrade these. Incredible release. I love it to death. Same with Zombie. I just think this release is so perfect and the picture quality is so good enough for me that I've never needed to upgrade or felt the need to. This is the greatest Italian horror film in my opinion. And then last but not least, one of the most intense slasher-style movies ever, The New York Ripper. I adore this film. Not for the weak of heart. Again, 4K scan Blu-ray set. I adore it. So there it is, guys. That's not every Italian horror movie I own on Blu-ray, but that's a good bit of it. And I hope this video is helpful. Of course, if there's any questions about any of those, please drop a comment below, and I'd love to try to help. And if you're a big Italian horror movie connoisseur and you saw something that I didn't bring up, please drop a comment below and recommend it as well. I get a lot of requests to talk about Italian horror movies, so what better way to do it than through physical media, which is what this channel is predominantly about. So thank you guys for watching this. This is your good old pal CHH. Drop a like on this video if you have not. Be sure to drop a comment below, let your voices be heard, and sub to the channel if you haven't. I love you guys. We'll see you next time. Huge, giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind-the-scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.